Hi friends, this is Beth McCullough. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demo in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central with my sweet husband, Steve.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing tonight, hon?
I'm doing fine.
So, occasionally we have conflicts and we have to record ahead of time. That's the case today. Steve has a special dinner to go to tomorrow night. He's going to put on his black tux and be very spiffy.
Yeah.
So we are making this the night before. So for Prize Patrol, hashtag Prize Patrol, go over and leave a comment on YouTube. And that is where we will pick the winner of the card, because we won't be able to do our normal prize picking procedure.
And we just need to say hi to everybody right now.
Yes, welcome, welcome. And I am not going to the fancy dinner, so I am going to be live with you on YouTube and Facebook. And we can chat during the video because I won't be making the card. I'll be chatting with you, which is even more fun. So thank you for being here. So this card...
Wait, does that mean you can post comments about your own card? What a beautiful card.
I meant chatting with people about what they're doing, not necessarily complimenting myself on my card.
Okay, well, who knows? You might be really impressed.
So this card folds flat. It has an issue, though. Let me show you the issue. Here in Stampin' Up! World, we use standard, we usually make cards that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This one, look at that. It does not fit in the envelope. So I'm going to remake this card again tonight, and I'm going to give you the measurements to fit it in an envelope, or you could also fit it in a 5 by 5 or a 5 by 7 envelope. 5 by 7, you still wouldn't have to pay the extra postage in the US for square postage. So anyway, it is super pretty. Let me show you some of the things I used to make it. Beautiful butterflies 2 weeks in a row. I've got to tell you, I'm so glad this did not go away with the things from the last catalog. Also, I use the embossing folder. I'll tell you why this strip of peach pie is in there later. This embossing background on this pool party is Waves, Soft Waves 3D. You could use another one, but it looks very nice on there. And in order to not MacGyver the exact square here, I do have the option for a stylish shaped circle because I want to make things as easy as possible. And for the paper, not much of the paper, but a little bit. These little corners down here, can you see there's prints behind the butterfly? That is from the Wildflower birthday paper. And then these beautiful butterflies is this in color glimmer, last year's in color paper. This is still current. And then the body itself is gold foil on all of these. So we use 2 little butterflies, 1 big butterfly. And on the one I'm going to make today, I'm also going to use these in color shimmer gems. So, super fun. Before we get started, I have things to tell you. Annual catalog product shares. How many years have we been doing these, Steve?
A lot.
Like 10?
Yeah, it's a production.
At least 10.
Yep.
So I will have the pricing done for that. We're going to do the annual catalog DSP ribbon and embellishments, and also some of the online exclusives. There's more and more of those, so we can't just leave those out. There's some awesome things. And I will get the details to you in the next couple days. I'll order those on May 6th, and I will cut them, wrap them, ship them out right away.
How do they reserve their share?
They can email me at beth@stampingmom.com. And also when I get all of it done, I will make a form for that too. A lot of you buy those from me with each new catalog. I know your address. Tell me it hasn't changed. And you don't need to fill out the form if you've already purchased those from me in the past. So it's pretty easy. Just let me know you want them, and I will let you know the pricing and exactly what you're getting. Typically what I do is, whenever possible, I give you 6 by 12, unless it's a specialty, like for the glimmer paper. You won't be getting this, but you did when this was in the new catalog. Sometimes the specialty paper 6x6, but the regular designer series paper that comes in 12x12 will be 6x12. You'll get a half a sheet of everything. That typically is what I need to make everything. So if you're a demo or not, and you don't like having a lot of paper left over at the end of the catalog, buy them from me. I put them in the order they're on the sheet. I don't do a lot of identification of the paper. So mine are less expensive because of that. If you need everything identified and don't have a system, you might want to pay more for someone to do that for you. But the people who get my shares love them, so I think you will too. Also, Stamp Camp, January 27th and 28th. This is the big Stamp Camp, demos from all over the world. There's 13 of us. And you purchase this suite, Celebratory Sips. It's $78.75. You get everything you see on the screen. Plus, you'll get a card kit. You'll get a package. Can you see me at all? You'll get a package like this with 13 different cards cut, ready to go. Excuse me. And then the day of the Stamp Camp, we'll make 13 additional. So you'll get 26 cards. So if you guys could comment, I know many of you purchase all the Stamp Camps. I do 4 a year. And you will get more use out of the suite that you do the Stamp Camp than probably any other suite you buy this year. So there's a huge value in that. I do think with the host code going away, demos obviously are making less money on that. So we have a meeting at the end of this week, but I think we're going to have to pay for the shipping of these kits. But still, all the cardstock and all the cutting is done for free. So I hope you'll join me on that. I've sold some already. Also from the Stamp Camp that is May 2nd. That's Lovely as a Garden. I cut 2 extra card kits. I still have those 2 extra card kits. In fact, one is right here. If you want it, I'll put your name on it and send it to you right away.
Saturday, May 3rd.
Saturday, May 3rd. I said May 2nd, didn't I? Saturday, May 3rd, and there are 12 different fun folds and 12 different stamping techniques. So 6 come in the card kits and 6 happen the day of. It will be awesome. I think you'll really, really like it. Okay, so let's make today's cards. And please let us know in the comments where you're at, what you're up to. We have flowers. We were in Fort Worth and Austin, Texas this weekend. We need to talk about that. Mm-hmm. And we came home to even more spring flower bulbs up.
Yes.
So I was out taking pictures of that. It just really makes my heart happy. Okay, this is the card that we started with 5 inches by 10 inches. If you want it to fit in the envelope, you're going to use 5 inches by 9 1/4. And my base is made out of peach pie cardstock. And I'm going to show you the difference here. If you're making the bigger one, you can do these perfect squares. If you're making my new version that I finagled to fit in the envelope, you can see that's how much you're cutting off. So it's probably easier if you start with a square and cut it down. I will show you that when we get to that part. I just want you to be able to choose. Are you doing 5 by 10 or 5 by 9 1/4? Okay, so here is, I don't have the, usually I write on the dotted lines. We're in a hurry to do our next thing. Our daughters.
No, you can see the score marks really well.
So this is 5 inches by 9 1/4. And then I went ahead and scored it at 2.5 and 5 inches. And then this one you can't see, but this one I did very faintly at 7.5. And the purpose of doing that one, here I'll show you a little more. It's right there. The purpose of doing that one is to get these score lines. Because the next graphic, Steve, tells you to score diagonally between the 2.5 and the 7.5. And that's where this X comes in, okay? And that literally is your card base. And you can see how it's going to fold together. It's going to fold down like this. And we're going to put glue right here and that part is going down on the card base. So that's how you come up with this. Yay! So I went ahead and did it with peach pie, 5 inches by 9 1/4. I scored at 2.5, 5, and then a faint line at 7.5. So I could do these diagonal score lines that go from 2.5 up here to 7.5 down here, and 2.5 here up to 7.5 here. Then on this, I'm going to use the circles instead of the squares because we made it smaller. And I thought it needed a little something. So I went ahead and I put it in the embossing folder. So the point is in the embossing folder, and it's in the embossing folder all the way down to the 5 inches.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
How did we get the point?
Did I not talk about the point?
I don't get the point.
You don't get the point? Okay. Let me explain the point. I'm glad you asked, Steve.
Yeah, no problem.
This card was made a long time ago. Okay. So it's 5 inches by 9 1/4, right? This is 7.5 here and here. You know that because of the faint line and
Right.
where the X is. So then I put the 7.5 in my trimmer, and then I marked this. This is 5 inches tall. This is 2.5 at the point. So I marked it at 2.5. I put that in the trimmer, and I cut off from the 7.5 mark up to this 2.5 mark that came down the side. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Did the same thing on the other way. That's how you got the point. Thank you for asking.
No problem.
I guess that part is missing.
I just
So-
earned my keep
You
for
are
this
so
video.
helpful. So this is 5 inches tall. The point is at 2.5. So I just put a little mark there and cut off between the two. If you have any more questions, email me. But thank you for asking that, Steve.
Yep.
Then I embossed the top, like I told you. I did not emboss it on this one because the square fills up most of the area. And yes, the butterfly is sideways, but you're not going to see it because it's going to be covered. And I liked that there were more dots showing if I did it sideways. Plus it fit in the embossing folder. All these reasons to do it this way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put glue on this. Okay, here's a rectangle. Here's a triangle. We're going to put glue just in the triangle, and we're going to shut it down to the card base. Don't you love it when there's actually glue in my bottle?
I'm astounded.
Me too. I haven't used it today, so that was pure luck. So I'm folding it over. This is the back side. And then I'm going to let this dry. While it's drying, we're going to go on to the next step. The next step is to cut a square of pool party cardstock. And it's 2 1/4 by 2 1/4.
So I just adhered the triangle card base,
Yep.
and now I'm doing 2 1/4.
Yep. And then you put this in the trimmer. And when you put it in the trimmer, start in the middle. If you start up here in the corner, sometimes you might bend that. So you cut your 2 1/4 square, and then you turn it this way so that the top and the bottom of the diamond are in the grooves. Set your trimmer down in the middle, cut up, cut down, and you have 2 triangles. Now we're going to take these 2 triangles and we're going to cut DSP for them, and they're going to go on the card base. So the next thing is a 2 inch by 2 inch of the Wildflower Birthday DSP. Again, this is this designer series paper. Cut the square. I did the exact same thing. I put it in the trimmer as a diamond, started in the middle, cut up, cut down, and I have 2 diamonds. I am going to go ahead and adhere each one onto the pool party. And then I'm going to fold back the squares. Well, you can see where they're going to go. A layered of triangle is going to go on this side and that side. And this is from where we just folded down the triangles. So as I glue all that on, so I'm going to glue it here and here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. do you want to
Guess
chat
we-
about this weekend?
Sure. So we just got back from Texas. So we flew this time on Allegiant and actually had pretty good flights. A little bit late coming home because of the storms. But we flew into Austin, and then with my son and daughter-in-law, we drove to Fort Worth.
Well, we were in Austin for a couple days.
Yes, but we were there for a day, and then we drove to Fort Worth to see the NCAA Gymnastics Championships.
Oh my goodness. You know,
She was in tears.
when I
She was
was
so
10
excited.
years old and we would come up, then 12 and 14, we'd drive up to Disney World in Florida and just seeing the sign of Walt Disney World, it was like that, you guys. I'm sitting, and I've been to this gymnastics 3 or 4 or 5 times, but I was so happy to be there. Like, the feelings were real.
Yeah, well, so we did a lot of binge watching of gymnastics meets this year, and got to know all the teams and all the gals that were on these teams, and
Yeah, we watched a lot when we were in Cayman.
decided
in
who our
January.
favorites were, and so to see the culmination of this long gymnastics season at the championships was pretty cool.
And Lily Peterson from Oklahoma, a freshman, little short, darling freshman. She never misses. She just gets routine after routine. She was one of my favorites. And when I was in line, somebody had on a Lily Peterson pin. And I said, "Oh, are you guys related to Lily Peterson?" And the guy that was with the girl I was talking to said, "No, I'm her high school sweetheart. I'm from Minnesota. We met in high school, and I just, Steve's my high school or junior high sweetheart." I was just like, "Oh, isn't that sweet?" And Lily fell off the beam on Thursday during the semifinal. I've never seen her fall this whole season. Not once has she fallen. And I said, I've been praying for her. Is she worried today now because she fell on Thursday? And her boyfriend's like, "Nope. Her mind is like a steel trap. It's like it never happened." And I'm like, "That's amazing. I'm so happy." And she did. She did the beam. She did everything perfectly on Saturday, like it never happened. But maybe we should do that. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? Steve's all for this. If
Yep.
I could just forget things and give myself a break.
No regret. Just move forward.
Move forward. But Lily did that, and I like her even better now.
So only move forward. That's one of our mottos. So our son Sean, when he was back to see us at one point, borrowed our old pickup and managed to back into somebody in the parking lot. And we said, well, that's why we always park in spots where we can pull through, right? And that way you always move forward. And then I started thinking about that, and I thought that's a good motto for life.
Yeah.
Always go forward. Don't have to look back. So there we go. And
Okay.
she's mastered that.
So these trials for parking, I've mastered it for parking. Lily's mastered it for life. And she's only like 18, probably 19 years old. Okay, so do you fully understand where I put these triangles?
Yes.
So on our original card, our
That's the glue plug.
yeah. So we're gluing that part back, and then it's these two corners that get the triangles. So that part is done. Now we are going to move on, and we're going to decorate the front part. Okay. So this totally folds back. Here, I'll show you a picture from here. This is what the back side looks like. It sits on this base, and then it's like this in the envelope, and when they open it up, it pops up. But it won't pop up quite that hard because it will have
It's very springy.
more things on here to keep it down. Okay, so back to the original part. If we were doing 5 by 10, we would have enough for a 3 1/4 square to go here. And also, this is where I put the sentiment and a little decoration, and you would write your note on that back side. But we're not doing that. So I cut a square the same way from this, or you can, this might be easier for you, just cut a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and look at this. You're starting just a little bit in from the edges, And then let's give you a measurement. Some people, we are approximately 3/4 of an inch
From the tip.
from the new tip, from where the old tip was. And then we're just slowly sloping down on both sides. Now you can do that if you want. And if you did that, I would also take your scissors after you cut one and you look at it, and look, it's got a pretty good border all around it. And then I went ahead and stamped the Time to Celebrate, which also came out of the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set. So I'm just going to set this over the top. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim how it needs to be, so you can see. This is what you're cutting off to make it fit in the envelope.
It's like Star Trek.
It is. Like, these are still 3 1/4, and these are just different slopes, right? Okay, so then we can just glue this right on here. If you're doing the shape, I would not emboss this top. I would just leave it the way it is. If you're going to do the circle, this is the largest stylish shaped circle. And again, the Softways embossing folder. If you're going to put this on there, I just thought it looked better to have a little embossing on the side. So Steve, unfortunately our friends are not here as we make this
I'm going to
video.
have to decide.
You're going to have to decide. Are we going with, I mean, this one is the full 3 1/4. Do we do the one I MacGyvered, or do we put a circle on there?
I like the circle.
Okay.
It reminds me of the Brazilian flag.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I cut this out with the largest stylish shape, and then I used the Softwaves embossing folder. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue this in the center onto this section. And again, I probably would not have done the butterfly embossing on the peach pie if I knew he was going to pick the circle. I
You
should
never
have
know what
chatted
I'm
with
gonna
you ahead of time.
Yep.
Okay. And the other thing that I'm going to do, if I still have that stamp out, oh good, I do. I wonder if that even fits on here. Oh, it barely fits. We're going to have to change. Steve loves to have me change what I'm doing. Because then it throws me off and I'm like, who's my name? Who's my name? What's my name? Who am I? What's going on here? Right? Hey, I'm going to show you this too for this next step. We're going to make 2 of the small butterflies and 1 of the big butterflies. And as you can see, I have 2 of the details. This is the In Glimmer colored paper from last year. The bodies are gold foil. The big body for the big one, the 2 small ones go with the small one. And then I used this for the large one. Now for the small one, the butterfly is pretty big and it would cover up almost my entire pretty paper. So I did the small butterflies different. And I told you earlier I was going to show you that when we got to it. So what I did, see this? Can you see that little embossing? Yes. I put the butterfly in here on a strip and I embossed it. And then I'm going to take my paper trimmers and I'll show you what I did. First I'm going to cut all this away. And I started up here and I'm going to cut and actually cut the antennas off. Keep going. I'm not going to curve in on the wings. Keep going. The little tail, I'm skipping over that. So I just want the butterfly shape. The detail is going to give me everything I need. So I am going to quickly cut that out. I'll try to hold it up so you can see. And I think I interrupted you earlier. Do you have anything else to talk about from this weekend or what's going on with you?
Oh, well, I just really enjoy spending time with Sean and Amy. They are so much fun. And they love it down there in Texas. And we love it down there in Texas. It's beautiful. It was great weather. It was actually
You know,
cool and
Patty
rainy.
Breeze lives there. I was hoping we would be able to get to see her, but we were on a whirlwind. We were not there very long, and we were in constant motion while we were there. So I would cut it along that line, and you can even cut it smaller. And then I went back and did the indentation here, and also at the bottom. And then on these, I actually even came back after I put the glimmer paper on and even cut it a little smaller. But you do you, however you think. But as you can see, to cut several butterflies, this took me, what, less than a minute? I think. Do you think so, Steve?
Yeah.
So I'm just cutting up. None of the detail needs left. We just need the outline of the butterfly. So I have these 3 little divots I just cut off. And then you put the glimmer paper on top. For the glimmer paper, I used 2 mini glue dots and just attached it right here. And then for the body, I used 2 mini glue dots because the head is hanging over the edge. So just put them on the body. When I did the large one, I did 2 mini glue dots to add this detail glimmer paper, and then 3, 1 for the head and 2 for the body. But as you can see, everything is loose. I know we've talked about this before, but we like flying butterflies, so they're only attached in the center. Okay, so I went back to the happy birthday, and I'm going to stamp that with peach pie on the circle because this time to celebrate does not fit very well on the circle. So I'm going to set the happy birthday on here, and it fits it very nicely. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to have this die cut. This is from the Wildflower birthday, and I just attached it. That DSP comes with a bunch of little die cuts. And then I'm going to grab another mini glue dot. Steve left. He must have gotten an important phone call. He doesn't usually leave us. I hope it's nothing serious. It's probably just work. Probably just work. So he does work full time. I know some of you have asked. He is not retired yet. He's hoping to retire when he's 67. He works at a nonprofit, but he loves his job, so it will be tough for him to retire. He has worked there since he was 26 years old. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the circle, and I'm going to adhere that to the pool party. Nope, I'm going to adhere it inside. See, I'm totally thrown off. Where did he go? What's he doing? Okay, so the happy birthday goes inside, and I would write my saying, whatever I want to say to the recipient, inside. And then we are going to attach the big butterfly up here. And again, I'm just going to put the glue mainly in the center because I want those wings to be free. Even the antenna is not going to be attached. I guess it could be. I can attach the antenna. I just have to be very careful that I don't get too much glue on it. Okay, so I'm centering this onto my pool party circle. You know, another thing you want to do is put it down a little bit because we're trying to make it fit into an envelope. And it would be a bummer if now it doesn't fit because I put the butterfly up too high. But look at that. It's going to fit perfectly in an envelope. Now we have our 2 little butterflies, and they just go on these corners diagonally. So a little bit of glue on this one. And I did put these together earlier so you wouldn't have to sit through the whole process. But please call me if you have any questions, if it's not clear what I did. Again, the center, the bodies of the butterflies are gold foil. The detail is the in color glimmer paper. And the main part of the butterfly is the peach pie. I spoke too soon about the glue. I'm going to put this diagonally over here. What do you guys think of this card? Please leave me a comment. And again, go over, if you're watching on Facebook, go over to YouTube. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Excuse me, it'll notify you when I'm on if you hit the bell. And then you won't miss a video. But we are very consistent. It really is every Tuesday. Okay, so here we go. If you don't care if it fits in our standard envelope, you can use 5" by 10" and a 3 1/4 square for here. Or you can do this and do 5" by 9 1/4. I was going to put some of these glimmer dots on here too. Let's see if I can get these open. But yeah, leave us a comment. Tell us what you're up to. We love hearing from you. Oh, you know, the other thing I didn't show you is I got some more birthday cards and a spring card. So I will show you those quick too. So these I just put on the pool party so they would show up well. And again, these are the peach pie ones. And I'm going to put 3 on. I like to do odd numbers. I wish there was more showing. Okay, so I do think the one on the left is a little more glamorous, but if you haven't seen the one on the left, you would really like the one on the right if it came out of your envelope, I think. So number 1 is the bigger one, number 2 is the smaller one. So vote and tell me which one you like. And I will show you my cards quick, and hopefully Steve will come back and tell me everything's okay. Okay, this beautiful card, we did this fun fold not too long ago, and I love the paper she used and how she designed it. And this is from Kathy, one of my demo friends up in Minnesota. When I had my knee surgery, we went up several times and got to go have lunch with her and her husband. So I miss you, Kathy, and appreciate the beautiful birthday card. Here's another birthday card. This is from one of my team members and Joy Club friends, Jude, and it is beautiful. I love the Easter lily. It's so pretty. Or it almost looks, yeah, I was going to say daffodil, but it's not. It's an Easter lily. Very cute. And this is from my dear friend, Brooke. She always gives, she sends these out every other month, and this is our spring one. So cute. This is actually like a 3D, I think I could actually take this off the card and put it on my window. It's like a stained glass bird. It's just gorgeous. The whole card is so cute. Lots of quotes and scripture, and they always say Jesus loves you. And this is for Easter. I'm the resurrection and the life from John 11:25 and 26. So thank you, Brooke. And then I have a dear friend, Ruth, in Australia. She is also part of my Stamping Joy Club. And over the years, I think we've been friends for about 6 years, she always sends me some form of turquoise, beautiful flowered card. And I have saved all these. So you can tell the shape is a little different because it is made in Australia, so they do the metric. And she also checks a lot of my metric cards for my stamp camps that I have to do metric. This is beautiful. I cherish my friendship with all of these lovely ladies. And thank you so much. I'm going to go over and see if I can stop the video now. Leave your comment over on YouTube, and I'll leave a comment and tell you what happened, why Steve disappeared, because in all these years, he's never done this. So have a great day, everyone. Be blessed. Thanks so much. Here I am being Steve, seeing if I can end the recording. Good thing he's usually here.